Hi guys, hope you've been well. Welcome back to my channel. When it comes to growth, elevation, and success, isolation is required. And there's going to be times in life where we need to separate ourselves from people, situations, and just things that are no longer healthy for us. And we just need to do our own thing. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's to reinvent ourselves, focus on us, learn who we are, what we like, what we don't like, whatever it is. Sometimes we do this intentionally. So when we decide to cut people off and take ourselves away from situations, and then other times we're forced to take ourselves away or we're forced to be isolated. Example, when misunderstandings happen or when people betray us, painful life experiences. But overall, isolation is needed. There's going to be a lot of times in life where we go through things ourselves, even when other people in the situation are involved, or even when we're involved in marriages, friendships, relationships, whatever the weather. We come into the world by ourselves and we leave the world alone. So we're born alone, we die alone. And there's just so much times in life where we go through things alone in depth, like our own emotions, our own understanding. Just prime example, if an individual loses their parent, other people may feel the loss or may feel sad, but nobody's gonna feel as sad as that individual. Do you get what I mean? Especially if there's someone who has spent their whole lifetime with their mother or their father. So there could be, even in a group situation or just a situation where everybody's feeling similar, sometimes people have to individually go through their own emotions. And that's just that. I feel like overall, people, they like to look at, they usually look at isolation as a negative or as a weakness, because people nowadays, they love to keep up appearances. They love to look like they have it all together, like they're happy, like they have so much friends, or they are with the winning team. And that's not always the case. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes people, they're just scared to be alone, um, which isn't good, because when you don't know how to enjoy your own company and how to see isolation as like a positive and reap the rewards from it, you end up settling for less and staying in unhealthy environments, which can stop your growth, keep you stagnant. Then you don't really have any boundaries. You're not growing as a person. They always say, if you're the smartest in the room, if you're the richest in the room, you're in the wrong room. And there's so many times in life where we have to level up, where we have to change and just do us. Do you know what I mean? So even when you think about a caterpillar, before it becomes a better version of itself, it goes in a cocoon, it isolates, it's alone, and then it turns into a beautiful butterfly. It looks better. It's even able to fly. Do you know? It's just it's a level up, and that's how it is with us as individuals. And I just feel like it's important to know there's a time and place for everything, and it's important to know when you need time to yourself. And people go through different time frames of separation, of being alone. Some people, it takes them weeks, months, years, decades, who knows. Everybody's life is different. But even with me, like I've gone through different moments of isolation, especially because I was the only child for a very long time. So I understand how it feels to, example, go out in the world, go school, have a whole load of friends, be so popular, and then come home. And even though I have a loving family, great relationship with, I'm always with my mum, my nan, loads of cousins, I know how it feels to be alone, as in like not have any siblings around, spend a lot of time to myself after school or just in general. And then I also know how it feels to have siblings and stuff. So the point is, um, we all have to we all have to go through it, but it's all about your perspective and how you see things. I always say everything always goes back to an individual's perspective and the way that they was raised. If you see something as a negative, you can go down a rabbit hole. Example, if you are forced to be alone because, I don't know, something happened, you're by yourself most of the time, you're isolating, and you see it as a negative, you can get into bad habits like comfort eating, depression, drugs, alcohol, bad habits, bad relationships, toxic relationships, abuse, all of these things. So it's like, this is why you have to see it as a positive and use your time wisely, because time is the essence and life is too short. When you're isolated, I feel like a very important thing to do is to learn new skills. I feel like that is important because it's like knowledge is powerful. It's something that people, they can't take away from you. Do you know what I mean? And that's just that. Like in the past, I learned how to trade. I'm not a trader now, but I still know the skills. And it's just like if you was to learn different languages, it may not be convenient for you if you live in the UK on a daily basis because the primary language is English, but it's still going to be beneficial when you go abroad or if you need it in an emergency situation or a real life circumstance. Do you know what I mean? So when you learn new things, it's always, at least you're learning. You know, a lot of people, they love to talk about failing and not fully succeeding or seeing your plans through. It don't matter. Learning is a skill. It's important in life. We have to learn different things, and that's just that. Um, so yeah, like just creating positive virtual environments for yourself whilst you're isolating and this and that is important, as well as, you know, making sure that you're good is key, but also making sure other people is good, knowing when to give people space, knowing when to back out of a situation. You know, we can still love people, but they still need space at certain times. So sometimes just give them grace, walk away with grace, give them space, but also check on them, give them reassurance, you know, even though I'm giving you space, or you've been alone for a while, but I still love you, I'm still here for you, you can talk to me, whatever the weather. I just feel like it's all important to take care of ourselves, our own well-being, and give others reassurance, the people that we love and care about, even people that we're not even so close to. It could be a friend that you may not be besties with your friend, but if they're your friend, you want your friend to be okay. Do you know what I mean? It's good to check in because people, they handle things differently, and a lot of people, they can't handle the pressures of life. This is why some people end up committing suicide, and when all they needed was reassurance or communication. Do you know what I mean? So um that's that, guys, man. Isolation and just having a plan is just so important because you can reinvent yourself, focus on yourself, and when you start spending time with yourself, you learn what you like and what you don't like, and then you're able to set boundaries when you go out into the world, and when you start to mingle again, when you start meeting up with friends again, when you start dating, whatever the weather. So everything, um when it comes to isolation and stuff, there's a lot of things that go hand in hand and to be mindful of, but we all need to at different stages of our lives. And even when you go, when like being alone, you see character when you are who you are. When you are one way, that's just how you are. It's either you're solid or you're not. So what I'm saying is, solid people, they don't change with time or with circumstance. So even if you are going through things or whatever the weather, you're not going to change who you are as a person. Do you know what I mean? You're not gonna just abandon everyone or start mistreating people or lashing out on people forever. You may have a little toxic moment, fair enough, but overall it wouldn't change your character, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, man. I'm just gonna end with, most times it's easy to feel like an outcast when you're isolated, like you're missing out, but you're not. The most you're missing out on is spending money. And I've been there, look, I've been there, done that. I feel like I'm missing out. I go out with the people, with like some groups, and it's just like, that's all I'm missing out on is spending money. And that's just that. There's no excitement, no growth, no change. So be patient, guys, man. What's for us will always be for us. And sometimes we just need a whole different environment, a whole different group of people. Sometimes the isolation gets extended because you keep making bad decisions when it comes to your friendships and relationships. But I'm just going to end there, guys. I'm going to love and leave you. Please subscribe, like, and share. Bye.